You press the brake, push the start button, and nothing. Just a key not detected error message flashing on the dash. It is an incredibly stressful feeling, especially if you're trying to get home late at night and suddenly find yourself stuck in a dark, empty parking lot. Before trying anything, take a second to note your exact location and see if you can safely walk to a well-lit, populated area if you need to call for assistance. But hold off on calling that tow truck. There is an immediate bypass trick to get the car running right now, and a very cheap fix you can do yourself once you get home. You can clear this electronic lockout in seconds with a specific override sequence. Step 1 is confirming that the key fob is actually the problem, rather than a dead car battery under the hood. Try pressing the start button one more time, but watch your instrument cluster closely. If your car has a healthy battery, the dashboard will look like this image. The gauges will activate, and you will see all the warning indicator lights brightly illuminated. If that dashboard stays completely dark and unresponsive, the car itself has lost power. You'll need to pop the hood and jumpstart the engine. But if your gauges sweep and your dashboard lights up like normal, the car has plenty of power. That isolates our issue completely to the internal battery of the key fob. Now that we know the fob is the culprit, we can use the fastest bypass technique, the direct push method. First, press your foot firmly onto the brake pedal, just like you normally would to start the sequence. Next, take the key fob itself and hold it directly against the push-to-start button on your dash. Inside your fob is a passive RFID chip. It doesn't need battery power to communicate with the reader built into the start button. By placing the fob at point-blank range, the reader's radio waves activate the chip, verify the security code, and complete the circuit. With the fob held directly against the plastic, simply push the start button inward using the key fob itself to crank the engine. Relying on this hidden, passive technology lets you manually override the electronic lockout. No battery power required. If pushing the fob against the button doesn't start the engine, your car manufacturer likely installed the backup reader somewhere else in the cabin. To use the backup sensor method, you just have to manually locate that secondary chip reader. There are 3 common spots for this backup sensor: the bottom of the center console bin, inside a cup holder, or against the steering column. If you check the physical owner's manual in your glove box, it will show you the exact backup sensor location for your specific make and model. Finding that specific backup sensor guarantees you always have a physical way to trigger your car's ignition sequence. Now that your engine is running, you can get home safely. Once you're parked, we can move on to the permanent fix. Your key fob is highly unlikely to be broken. The internal power supply has just run dry. Take a small flathead screwdriver, locate the seam along the edge, and gently pry open the plastic casing of the fob. Inside, you will see a small silver coin cell battery supplying the power. In nearly every modern vehicle, this is a standard CR2032 battery. They are inexpensive, and you can pick one up at almost any local drugstore. Pop the old battery out, slide the new CR2032 into place with the positive side facing the right direction, and firmly snap the plastic casing back together. A $5 trip to the store and a 2-minute swap restores your remote control and saves you from paying dealership labor rates for a completely new key. Step outside your vehicle with the newly reassembled fob to test the repair. Press the buttons to confirm the doors lock and unlock seamlessly from a normal distance. We diagnosed the battery issue, used the passive RFID bypass to get home, and replaced the internal power source ourselves. To prevent this from happening again, buy a 2-pack of those CR2032 batteries and leave the spare in your glove box for future emergencies. Knowing how these components function allows you to handle roadside failures with minimal stress. If this guide helped you get back on the road, subscribe for more practical repair walkthroughs.